Feel Free, where we talk about anything and everything. Hosted by me, Liz.
I'm Andrea, and today we're going to talk about dreams,
nightmares, and sleep paralysis. Oh, yeah. And for those of you guys who are really starting to join, our podcast, where have you been, first of all? Anyway, so if you don't know...
missed you.
Yeah. But if you don't know what this podcast is about, it's basically you feel free to open your mind, you feel the vibe. Yeah, so just feel free to chime in and let us know how you feel about this episode or any of the other episodes. We will be going through the comments.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Dreams, nightmares, and sleep paralysis.
Alrighty.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago, right before Halloween, maybe? Or it was before that. I had a weird dream.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say that you had a sleep paralysis, like...
No.
I feel like that would be even more...
Yeah, no, I haven't had sleep paralysis in a very long time. It's been a while. The only times I've had sleep paralysis when I was living in my old house, like in the trailer park.
It's rare for me to have sleep paralysis.
So I guess we're starting with sleep paralysis. Yeah, so what is sleep paralysis?
It's when your body is basically paralyzed. You can't move, but at the same time, like, it's hard to explain. Like, like you're kind of awake, kind of asleep at the same time. Like, you can feel yourself like waking up, and
Don't
like
hurt yourself.
and like you can't move, you can't speak or anything, but like it's really scary when it happens.
Yeah. So yeah, basically you're unable to move. You feel like actually paralyzed. That's hence the name sleep paralysis. You're paralyzed. You can kind of barely breathe, honestly. Like, you're barely there.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and it lasts for a good while. Well, let's see what science says and how they explain it. I know in psychology I learned a little bit about this. Something to do with like when your body is so tired, kind of thing, and it kind of skips REM. And so you're not dreaming, but you're in that state. Your body's in the state of REM, but your mind is not. So, yeah. So, here it is. Sleep paralysis is a condition identified by brief loss of muscle control known as atonia. That happens just after falling asleep or waking up. In addition to atonia, people often have hallucinations during episodes of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is categorized as a type of parasomnia. Parasomnias are abnormal behaviors during sleep. Because it is connected to the rapid eye movement, REM, stage of the sleep cycle, sleep paralysis is considered to be a REM parasomnia. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, there are like some people that they can see like figures when they're in sleep paralysis.
Yeah, let's talk about our experiences with that. So when REM isn't doing its job.
Oh my God.
Some kind of like insomnia, is that what it is? Parasomnia?
I think I've only had sleep paralysis only 2 times in my life. But like the second one really like it freaked me out the most because this time I knew what was going on. Okay, like I was at home, so I work graveyard, so I worked that night. So I was sleeping, and I had this like candle light on,
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up, and that was like the only thing that was the only light that was shining through my room.
Mm-hmm.
And like it looked like I was like peeking, like my eyes weren't wide awake.
Yeah.
Um
It does that.
yeah. and I couldn't move. And like it felt like I couldn't breathe as well. Like it felt like pressure was like on my chest. Like it was really hard for me to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And like so like I watch these YouTubers, they talk a lot about sleep paralysis, so it's like I'm well more aware of what sleep paralysis is. So I realized that's what was going on. I was like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. I'm in sleep paralysis. Like, I know what's going on. And like, I also remembered people they can see like a figure in the room or something. So I tried to like see if there's anything in my room.
Why would you try to see? Why would you try to see if there's something there?
Well, I'm in the States. I'm aware what's going on, so may as well see something or whatever. So I was looking in my room around. I didn't see anything or something or anything, but like my attention kept going into my closet.
Mm-hmm.
And the closet, it didn't have a door. It was like a walk-in closet, but it didn't have a door. It didn't have anything, so it was like basically open. And I kept looking in there.
No.
I didn't see anything, but like it was like my attention kept going into that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was like, hey, I gotta get out of this. Like I have to like wake up somehow. Like so first I try to go back. I try to close my eyes, go to sleep, just like see if I could just let this pass.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I tried that and I was like, no, I have to wake up. I have to wake up like right now. I have to wake up. And so even though my body wasn't moving, if I felt like my arms were. Like I can see my arms moving, but I know it wasn't moving.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like the feeling of it, but like physically I wasn't moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I was struggling. I was basically fighting. And I actually like woke up. Like I sat up, woke up. I was laying down and then I broke out of it and then like
just sat up.
Yeah. It was like that type of waking up.
Oh wow.
And like I was trying to catch my breath and like I had like an hour or two left of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So like I try to calm myself down, but like I could not stop thinking about it. I was like, okay, I just go back to sleep. But this time I tried to fall asleep like on my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like it was gonna happen again. So I was like, no, I gotta wake up. And then like I went on my phone and I was like, okay, what is sleep paralysis really? Because I hear a lot of stuff. Is this, that, the search that I got from was basically what you just read, like the sleep REM, and it's like, okay, like I feel more better about it. Then I press images.
No, you don't do that. Oh my god, I did that my first time too.
Nothing but demons all over that freaking page.
Yeah.
And like I came across this one that said, if you're in a sleep paralysis, it means there's a dark presence in the room. It's like
no,
fuck.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Oh my god, I know.
So like I couldn't sleep, like so like I got up and I got ready for work even though I had plenty of time to sleep. But like and like the whole entire time like it felt like I was still trying to catch my breath. Like oh my god, like it was just like so much pressure, like so much like adrenaline.
Adrenaline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like I gotta like I just I can't sleep. I can't. The first time that happened to me, I was like 12, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That time, it actually literally felt like someone was sitting on my chest. That time it did. Mm. I don't want to say it, but like, I think I saw something. Mm. Like, my eyes weren't wide awake, but they were peeking.
Yeah.
All I saw was just nothing but dark.
Oh, okay. I started tearing up, so I was scared.
Like,
oh my god, I'm a baby.
Like,
I know this is like, you know, we're
and like
about
usually like when I wake up, the first thing I see is my fan. I didn't see my fan. I saw something.
Oh.
That's why it was so weird when it happened to me years later. Because it's rare when it happens to me.
Yeah. During that time, did you, so you said you saw things. Did you ever hear anything?
No.
No? Did you ever feel it? Well, you said it felt like someone was sitting on you for the first time. And the second time you said you could feel your arms kind of moving and stuff, but yeah.
It just felt like, okay, like the first time it felt pressure. The second time it felt like I had to wake up. Mm-hmm. I can feel someone staring at me. I didn't see anything or someone in my room, but I can feel someone staring at me. And like, I had the sense like I had to wake up. I couldn't let this pass. If there was even, I don't even know how sleep paralysis works. I don't know if like, if you do close your eyes, eventually it will pass. I don't know. But like, I had to wake up. And I was basically fighting with my physical and mental self to actually wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, well, my first one, that was my mistake, was trying to go back to sleep.
Wait, you're not supposed to do that?
Well, right here, there's different types of sleep paralysis. Two. I mean, I think I have the second one. So the first one is isolated sleep paralysis, is when the episodes are not connected to an underlying diagnosis or narcolepsy or neurological disorder that prevents the brain from properly controlling wakefulness and often leads to sleep paralysis.
Does it say like
actually? I don't know. Because this is the second one is recurrent sleep paralysis, involved multiple episodes over time. In many cases, these two defining characteristics are combined to describe a condition of recurrent isolated sleep paralysis, RISP, RISP, which involves ongoing instances of sleep paralysis in someone who does not have narcolepsy. Huh. Well, never mind. I don't know. I will not identify with any of that. But when I had it the first time, I think I was like 13, 14, maybe something like that. But I know I woke up like, I woke up like probably I'm hoping it was 5 a.m. and not 4. But I remember.
Wait, why not 4?
You have to ask. So 4 is known for the owl. Okay. 4 is known to be the devil's hour.
I thought it was 3.
No. I swear it was 4.
It's 3 a.m.
I thought it was 4 a.m. Or 3 a.m. is the devil's hour and 4 a.m. is the time when spirits like to come around. I don't know. Something like that. Something like that.
I've always heard it's 3 a.m.
I've always heard it was 4 a.m. Anyway, spirits are out at night. Anyway, so I woke up somewhere around 5, maybe 4, I don't know, somewhere around there. And like it was weird because I was only opening my eyes and like it was like squinting kind of thing because I couldn't see everything. And I learned after this I will always keep my door closed because my door was open and the hallway light was on. It was almost always on. This is in the my other house. And I was sharing a room with my little sister too. Or my older sister. One of the two. I was sharing a room. And so it was a bunk bed. I was in the bottom one. And so like my head was positioned like to look like you guys can't see this because no camera, but I was like up looking to like the far right.
Okay.
While I was laying down, which I could see the door, which was like right next to me, like wide open. And so I'm like trying to like I'm like squinting, kind of trying to look, and I didn't see anything.
Are you on your side?
No, I'm on like my back, but my head is slightly turned. So like I'm trying to like yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to like look, and I just all I see is the door, and I'm freaking out because I can't move my body at all, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. I'm like, I'm gonna move my arm now, or I'm gonna move my leg now. I know like there has to be some kind of moment, like, you know, when you suddenly jump in your sleep or whatever and it wakes you up, like that. I'm like, that's gonna happen. I'm like, this is just a nightmare. Like, why is this happening? And I get over and over. Like I was like, I'm gonna do it. And that, I don't know, it felt like forever. And I thought this was gonna be my life for the like forever. That like somehow something happened and I'm gonna be paralyzed or I was in a coma and no one will ever know. Like this is my 14-year-old mind thinking this, you know? Yeah, like this is my 14-year-old mind just thinking, you know, I'm gonna be paralyzed forever, and I could not move. And I kept like trying to look at the door and see like hopefully someone will walk by or something. No one ever did. And so I was like losing hope until I was like, let me pray. Maybe this is the thing, is I need to pray, like please. And so I started like, you know, begging and like I'm like, please give me back my like my strength or my movement. Like I need it back. And eventually like I moved, I think I moved my right arm, and then I was able to move the rest of me, and I just turned to face the door. Like I turned and I was like, okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm fine now. I'm like, I just need to sleep. And like I remember like I was like trying to breathe and all that, and I fell back asleep, but then back into sleep paralysis. And I could not move again. And I was like, oh my God, why again? And it just kept happening. Like I went through it again, you know, and I kept looking at the door and I can't, like, I could barely see. And I'm like trying to see, like, you know, if someone will ever show up. And I did hear sounds too. Like I would feel like I'd hear like someone's going to walk through the hallway, and no one ever does. And then like that happened about like 4 times that night, like that morning, I guess. So I went through like finally the last one, I was like, nope. I'm like, I'm gonna stay awake. I gotta stay awake. I stayed on my phone. I started looking it up online. I did not go through the pictures until like later on in the day when I saw daylight, because I was too scared to know what it was. And so, yeah, that was my first one.
So that's what happens if like you get out of sleep paralysis and you fall back to sleep. You're back into sleep paralysis.
Yeah, you're back into sleep paralysis.
Okay, that.
Yeah. I think.
Okay, yeah, that explains it. Because like when I try to go back to sleep, like when I try to sleep, like
you feel your stomach, body. You feel your body
heavy.
Start to drop again.
I felt like. I like the pressure. I felt it again. Mm-hmm. So I felt like I had to wake up because I feel like I'm gonna go back into it.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So, the second time, I was I guess there was 3 times. So the second time, it was still in the trailer that I was living in. I remember it was like early morning. It was probably like 8 a.m. or something. And
this was in the morning?
Yeah, early morning. Like I woke like this was probably like 2-3 years ago.
So like not too long.
Oh yeah, the last one I had was also a year ago.
In the house that you're in right now?
Yeah, in the house that I'm in right now. So the second one happened about 3 years ago, and then the third one happened about 2 years ago.
So the first one was at the trailer.
Yeah. So the first one was at the trailer. The second one was at the same trailer. Third one happened like 2 years ago, probably, or like last year.
What happened to the second one?
So the second one, it was like 8 a.m. probably, because the sun was coming out, and I could feel like the heat and the warmth. That's the first time I heard
that sleep paralysis happened.
Oh yeah, it was the weirdest thing ever. Because like I could feel the warmth on my cheek from like the sun, because like I'm facing the wall and the window. And again, it's like a bunk bed, so I think my cousin was sleeping up there. I was on my side. I was on my right side, and I was just like, I usually hug something, so like my shoulders don't clench, and just like hurt. So I'm usually hugging something, and then I was like sleeping, and then I felt the warmth, and I tried to like open my eyes, but it wouldn't open again, and I'm like, shit, here I go, this thing again.
Here I go again.
I'm like, I'm not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna try to sleep, go back to sleep. And I actually kind of did go back to sleep, and I dreamt that I got up. Like, I got up out of my bed, and I walked into the kitchen, and my mom was cooking, and I was like, Mom, why didn't you wake me up? I was going through this. And she's like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. Like, well, do you want to eat or something? And then when I was about to eat, I woke up back in my body, and I was in sleep paralysis still. And I was like, wait,
You had a lucid dream?
Yeah, I have a lot of those. All the time. Remember those days when I'm supposed to be at your house, and then like I dream that like I'm already heading to your house, but then like weird stuff start happening, and then I realize I'm in a dream, so I just go with the flow. Anyway, so Andrea's looking at me like, what the hell? So I'm back in my body in that same position that I left it supposedly, right? And I was like, yeah. So I'm like, I guess, I'm like, okay, time to get up. I'm like, it's time to get up. I gotta like move my body, and I can't move it at all. And so I'm like, maybe if I make noise, if I try to say something or something, could like, my body will like wake up, like alarm, like my phone, like somebody can call me. I'm like, at this point, I was getting desperate. I'm like, because now I know the scientific of it. Okay, I don't have to be like, oh, God, help me, because I know, like, it's not that. It's not that, okay? Nothing is holding me down. So I'm like, someone call me. My alarm needs to go off, but I wasn't going to school at the time anymore, so I didn't need an alarm. While that was going on, I could hear voices, and I swear I heard, like, my mom come in with probably my dad or my brother. So I was hearing a female voice and a male voice, and at the time my room was right next to the kitchen. So like it's a room, and then the kitchen's on the other side. So like the walls were hella fucking thin. They were really thin. And so I was hearing these voices, and I'm trying to like breathe heavily and make myself like kind of like it was kind of like breathing heavily and then snoring kind of thing, because I can't, like, I'm trying to make noise so someone will know I'm in there. If I'm like rapidly breathing, someone's gonna be like, oh, are you okay? No one came to rescue me, because I was actually, in the end I ended up finding out I was actually home alone. Fuck. And yeah, what? But like
oh my God.
Yeah, but like I just like, I'm trying to like, and I remember hearing myself kind of like snore, and I'm like trying to look at the window with all this sun coming in, and I could see my wall, and I could see the side of like the bed, how it goes up to the next one, to the bunk bed. I can see all that, but I couldn't move, and I kept trying to move, and I'm hearing these voices, and then finally I try to relax again, and then out of nowhere I'm just like, I'm gonna move, and then I turn around and I actually started moving, and then I woke up, and I'm just like, oh my God, that was horrible, and I felt tired still. I felt tired, but yeah, I just woke up and I went with the rest of my day like that. And then I've tried to explain to my parents about this, and they're like, you're just weird. You're just crazy. And I'm like, you guys never believe me with anything. Like, they don't even believe me the coffee thing. And like my dad still doesn't believe me on that. That's so stupid. But anyway, the third time was at night, right before I went to sleep. And I think it might have been last year before Christmas or something like that. Because I remember we're like hurrying around, or maybe Thanksgiving, but we're like hurrying around trying to get, I remember we're thinking about like wrapping presents and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe was it last year or was it the year before? Because Stacy was sleeping with me. Stacy was supposed to sleep with me. And so I went in my bed. Now I have a full size bed. It's size full. And I went into like bed, which is to my bed, and I'm like right against the wall. And I'm hugging the thing, hugging a pillow, and I'm touching the wall. So I'm like cornered to the wall.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And I'm waiting for Stacy. Like, she said she's gonna sleep with me, and so she went to go do something. I don't know what it was, but she like left, and I tried to like fall asleep, And then instead of falling asleep, my body actually went into sleep paralysis, in which I thought was the weirdest thing ever, because I'm like, normally happens when I wake up, from the last 2 times. But this one was going into sleep. And I could feel like I could not move, but I could I was aware of being awake kind of thing, but I couldn't move. And so I tried doing the same thing of like breathing heavily, maybe I'll get Stacy to realize I'm breathing heavily and she'll come and wake me up or whatever. And during that time, I sensed and felt and heard that she walked into my room and sat down behind me. Like, I'm facing away the wall. So she walks in, and then I could feel, like, when someone, like, comes into bed and you just feel the bed kind of go down a little bit? I felt that. And I thought my body was going to roll over because it was like that, But my body did not move. And so I was like, okay, she's going to get into bed now. And then the same feeling came around where she opens the door, comes around, and sits down. Like, it was over and over. That happened, like, 3 times that night. And I'm like, okay, there's going to be a moment where it's real. She's going to come in. She's going to sit down. It's going to wake my body up. And I'm back to normal. And nothing happened until, I finally gave up on that and, thing that, I'm like, that saving, and just came to, I need to wake myself up. And so I did the breathing thing again. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, either go to sleep, you need to sleep, it's late, or wake up, go drink water or something, and sleep properly. And yeah, I don't know what I did, but I ended up waking up again. And then Stacy comes in a couple minutes after, and I'm like, how long were you gone for? She's like, I don't know, I just barely left. And I'm like, I had the sleep paralysis thing, and I swear you came in a couple times. And she's like, no, I was downstairs the whole time. And I was like, oh, that was scary. And she's like, what the hell? And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, let's go to sleep now. But yeah, those are the times that happened. That's so weird.
You want something that I just remembered? So the second sleep paralysis I had, I remember the dream that I was having when I woke up to the sleep paralysis. I had a dream that, it was sort of like a nightmare. I had a nightmare I was in a graveyard. And I don't remember what was going on or what was the situation, but all I remember that I was in a graveyard. And then I woke up, and then I saw my candle light, and then the sleep paralysis happened. And I have a theory of what might have happened. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I couldn't help but think it.
You're wrong. Science tells us right here on my tablet.
Science is
no.
You know how when you summon something.
No, shut up.
You use candles.
Oh my gosh, we're having this conversation. Look, I haven't dabbled in that since 3rd grade, okay?
And all that creepy. So I couldn't help but think maybe my dream did something, because I was in a graveyard and I had that candle light, and I never have that light on. That was the only time I had it on, because I was just too tired to turn it off when I was gonna go back to sleep. And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it on, because I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep. I wake up, see the light, and then I'm on a freaking sleep paralysis thing. So I don't know. It felt I don't know.
I don't even want to go there. Yeah, because there's already stories of we had something, or a spirit being in our old house, and then based off of Anastasia and the kids, there's something in the new house that we're in.
I feel there's always something everywhere. My my dad has told me something that, like, yeah, like, I can see why every other place that we go, there could be something. He told me that where there's people, there are spirits. Because, like, we're not the first ones to walk in this area or whatever.
Well, yeah, like, we took this land from, well, not we, but the people in the back in the old, in the history.
Yeah, but, like,
where there's the land from the natives.
Where there's people have lived, people have died, and all that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if everywhere you go, there's something. Good or evil. Or both. Yeah, I haven't had a sleep paralysis since that second time. And it's really, really, really rare for me to have it. And it's weird how, like, sometimes, most of the time, it happens when you're sleeping on your back. Most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, because the first time I did mine. The first one it happened for me was I was on my back, and the 2 times the other one I was on my shoulder.
That's why I say most. Like,
well,
usually
the ratio of 2 out of 3 or 2 to 1. You know, 2 of them were me on my shoulder. So I don't know, honey. I don't know. Math is kind of beating here.
That's the first time I've ever heard someone had a sleep paralysis on there.
Who other people have you heard had sleep paralysis?
Well, like, stories that I've heard.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get back out of this bad aura. Moving on.
Sorry to interrupt. Turns out that we like to talk a lot. So this episode is being cut short. Yay. Actually, sad. So, stay tuned for the next episode. You guys will have to wait for next week. So, we'll see you guys next time.
So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, share.
Well, this was Feel Free. I'm Liz.
I'm Andrea.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.